Well, it looks like there's a new angle out in. Actually, if I explain it another way, you probably think it's more corrupt than it even is, but it is really corrupt. It's Corrections Corporation of America. They've actually found a way to get over on paying a lot of taxes. And you gotta remember, Corrections Corporation of America, basically, they do is they'll take it's prison industries. Basically, they'll make all the clothes and different things, a lot of things for the military. You know, the body armor, uniforms, belts, and things like that, and a lot of different stuff for the military. So the military-industrial complex is being fed by basically prison slave labor. So the United States actually has more people per capita incarcerated than anywhere else in the world. The United States is flat out number one on that, and they're actually using this labor to support the military-industrial complex. So you got a big, basically, financial boom to supporting the defense industry, which already takes up more than half our budget as it is. So a lot of it's being fed by, prison industries or Corrections Corporation of America. Well, there's a thing out there called a REIT. It's for tax purposes, it's a real estate investment trust. Basically, it gives different types of corporations and a tax break. Usually, it's people like that own like strip malls and stuff like that. It basically, it was started some years ago, just to give people that have a lot of real estate and they're holding like all this capital land and stuff, and they're like renting it out, give them some kind of tax break, because it was just too much of a burden. Well, Corrections Corporation of America, which operates 44 prisons and detention centers throughout the United States of America, and also has another private prison industry that's a smaller one, they argued that they're a REIT. They're operating under a real estate investment trust. And the IRS went along with the argument. Now, what I think is the IRS went along with the argument because the IRS is the government, and basically we got a government kind of controlled by an elite apparatus rather than the people now, and it's very much beneficial to the military-industrial complex that they use free prison labor, and also the profits from that free prison labor are not taxed as heavily to keep more incentive to have more prison labor. That's what I think's going on. But now there's other people trying to argue since Corrections Corporation of America argued that they're a real estate investment trust, a REIT. They're also saying cell phone towers, people who have cell phone towers, that's considered a REIT. Also data storage companies, because they got a lot of space and warehousing and stuff that they have to store all this data in, all these computers and stuff. And also casinos are trying to argue that they're a REIT. I'd almost be willing to bet that the main reason this Corrections Corporation of America was deemed to be a real estate investment trust, a REIT, was because it is the military-industrial it's part of the military-industrial complex itself. It's what President Eisenhower warned about. And it's like, I don't think the IRS is going to give breaks to the other people. I think they gave it to this because basically the IRS is owned by the military-industrial complex, more or less. It's not like the government is the king. It's more or less the elite behind the government are the kings. And the IRS pretty much does what the elite behind the scenes want, which is, and they're the military-industrial complex. So it's an interesting type of thing that's very dangerous, but I don't think any major, if we had a responsible media, but we don't, this should be like headline news all over the place. There should be, and they talked about civil rights and Martin Luther King and all the inequalities and injustice in America. If we had an actual free press, we'd actually see every day out in our free press, if there was a free press, about the Corrections Corporation of America and prison industries, that we have more people in prison in the United States per capita than anywhere in the world. And also, it's actually the big machine that's feeding the military-industrial complex, which we have the largest military in the world, And also, it's the now there's new tax rules that are being, well, new taxing methods that are being implemented to implement an old rule about real estate investment trust have now been argued to give major tax breaks to Corrections Corporation of America. So the watchdog media is more or less owned by the same elite military industrial complex, and they're not saying nothing. But I guess I am, because this is actually injustice all the way. It's an interesting type of thing. It should be major. If we had actually had a free, hard-charging civil rights press in this country, this would be all over the place. All over the place. First off, they'd have to examine exactly why so many people are going to prison in the United States. A lot of it's over marijuana or something, right? Less small stuff. And number two, there's this major financial incentive to keep people in prison in the United States because it's supporting the military-industrial complex by free labor. And now, three, we have this new thing where the real estate investment trust tax law is being interpreted by the prison industries or Corrections Corporation of America, that they will actually greatly lessen their tax bill because the IRS has deemed it okay that they're considered a real estate investment trust, prison industries, or Corrections Corporation of America. This is, it tells you, it's not that our media is asleep. Our media is actually controlled by the same elite. It's like if we actually had a real watchdog type of media, and we had a media that can, was forceful in protecting the civil rights and individual rights of Americans, they'd be all over these stories left and right, but they're not. But I think it's important as all hell, so spread the word because, not only do they have a financial interest to enslave people over minor offenses to support the military-industrial complex, they're getting filthy rich off of it, and on top of that, they're paying a hell of a lot less taxes off of that money when the government is actually going broke. I mean, I can't think of too much more wrong than that. So, bad news, spread the word. I don't know why the heck Corrections Corporation of America is getting tax breaks like this. They shouldn't be.